So home was a place where it was abusive. Home was a place where I didn't feel safe. Home was a place where I never felt valued. But school, on the other hand, was my happy place. This was a place where I could throw myself into learning. Turns out I was really good at it. I could flourish. I could kind of control my environment there. So that was kind of ages 5 to 10. But when I got to intermediate, I discovered something that I hadn't come across in the school environment before, and that was a bully. So all of a sudden, I had a bully at home, and I had a bully in the school environment as well, which meant that I had no safe space whatsoever. So entrepreneurship actually hit me at age 11. This was my way of surviving because I needed some form of escapism. I had nothing. I didn't have a job. I had a paper round for a few years, but that was terrible. You don't get much money in a paper round. So what I did instead was I discovered, and please don't judge me on this, I had no moral compass at age 11. I had no adult figure around me that could tell me things were right and wrong. But I started my first business. And that business was pirating Commodore 64 video games and software, because I discovered that because I managed to, long story, but I managed to build these computer systems at age 10, like fix these ones that were broken. I managed to sell those off to family of my friends and get enough money to buy a Commodore 64. And that's when I discovered, whoa, all the games and all of the software is actually on cassette tapes. And of course, cassette tapes is just basically a ferrite pattern. So therefore, you can copy this. So I used to go with my friends into Pairua, where you grew up, Miko. We used to go down to the Decker there, and where they had all the stereos, they had ones there that had high-speed dubbing. So I got my friend to go in there and distract the person behind the counter. Well, I would go up, take a video game that I had hired off this company for $1, put it in there with some blank tapes and just quickly high-speed dub a whole pile of them and then go and sell them to all my friends. And I made enough money from that to truly escape. And by that, I mean to buy a whole heap of comic books, because comic books were what I grew up reading. They were just my escapism. But then I also bought a TV, a VHS, a TV and VHS, which I put in my caravan. I used to live in a caravan in the back of my parents' house. So that was my escapism then. I threw myself into movies. I would go down to the video store and rent all the Jackie Chan movies, all of the terrible Italian ninja movies, all of the science fiction I could get my hands on. So that was my first taste of entrepreneurship, was basically wanting to survive, wanting to find some way to be able to provide for myself so I could escape the world that I was living in at the time. I then discovered later on, by the way, that was not only immoral, but illegal. So that didn't continue. Every company I've had since then has been completely above board, just saying. But I it really did start a spark inside of me. And I remember after college, I worked for a truck driving company. I was a rubbish guy. I used to go and do rubbish collection and things. But again, there, I was always seeing things different and looking for ways that I could make extra money, ways that I could try and earn some additional income on the side. And that became one of my focuses. I had a day job, and then I wanted to be able to create something on the side.
A Kangaroo Fern production.